Hello and welcome. In today's video, I want to talk about your students' learning plans. I think you remember from last video that I showed you that for every student that sits our placement test, we produce a gap analysis. And we show you all the areas where that student is struggling and what lessons from our library you can use to fix that deficiency. All those lessons form your student's learning plan, a lesson list that you can use to teach your students. So I'm going to show you today how to customize those learning plans and how to get the most out of those learning plans. So I'm here in student management and we can see all the students that I have registered to my account. I'm going to click on my student Jose, and down here you've got his lesson history table. So this shows me all the lessons that I've taught Jose and what the status is of the homework if I assigned it. Next to the lesson history table, I've got this learning plan tab. When I click on that, these are all the lessons from my students' placement test results from the gap analysis. And by default, we populate your student's learning plan with those lessons. And I'm ready to go. I can launch these lessons right off the learning plan and start teaching my student. These lessons on the default learning plan are all grammar-based because they drive off our grammar diagnostic. For every question your student got wrong or answered I don't know in the grammar section, we put the lesson here. But I'm going to show you how to customize the learning plan. So if we click on this blue link here, Customize Learning Plan, I'm actually in editing mode. And the first thing I want to show you is that I can actually add other lessons to the learning plan. So as I was saying, all these lessons are grammar-based, but I can add topic-based lessons, so non-grammar lessons, to my students' learning plan. And here we actually recommend different topic-based lessons that you can add to the learning plan. In addition, if you want to add any lesson, not necessarily a topic-based lesson that we recommend, you can click on all lessons here and you can find any lesson from our library and add it to the learning plan. So for example, if I wanted to teach my students some phrasal verbs, I know that they're struggling with phrasal verbs and that's something they want to go over, I could just add this lesson and it's now in the top row of the learning plan. I can also reorder lessons. So let's say I know I want to do this phrasal verbs as my fourth lesson with the student. So I can reorder the learning plan. I can remove lessons from the learning plan by clicking this red area here, this red button here. I can preview any lesson from the learning plan by clicking here. So if I click preview, it's going to actually open up the lesson for me, but it won't enroll the student. So it won't count as an enrollment for the student, and I can just review the lesson to see if it's appropriate for my student. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you here is that this is showing me that in green here, the status column here, this is actually showing me that I have actually taught this student this lesson before. That's why it's in green. So maybe on a previous learning plan, we went over this lesson. So it's just showing me that even though this lesson is in my learning plan, I have enrolled this student to this lesson before. So what I can do is I can override, I could either remove this lesson from the learning plan, but I can also just check it off as complete. And when I check it off as complete, let's say I'll say I've completed these 3 lessons, it's like a manual override. And it just shows me that in my learning plan that these lessons are done, that these lessons have been covered, that I won't teach them again. Now, the final thing I should show you in your customization screen is that you can always reset this learning plan back to its default state. So if I wanted to just get back to my original state, I can press Reset Learning Plan and I can go back to its initial state. So that's really what I wanted to show you guys today, that these learning plans are a dynamic tool and they're not static, and that you can customize them as you learn more about your student, about what your student likes, about where they're struggling, and what topic-based lessons they might want to take. You can actually customize these learning plans as you go and adjust them as you go. Thanks for watching.